Hello and welcome to another coding session with Rune. Today we'll be scraping a Wikipedia page. So, what's the issue here? There's this page with a list of TCP and UDP port numbers, and this is a bunch of data on which port numbers are assigned, or like what programs usually use the port numbers. Now I want to use this for another video that I'm making, but I want the data in my program. So for that, I kind of want to scrape it. I want to get a big JSON at the end, say like, hey, if you give me a port number, I'll give you what program is likely, attached to that port number. And I'm not very aware of easily exportable tables in Wikipedia, so I'm just gonna see as a fun exercise how it is to scrape it ourselves. So I already played around a little with it, but I think it is well worth doing it from scratch. So we have this table here, which is this table I want to scrape. It has this class wiki table. Now, since Wikipedia uses jQuery, we can just say, hey, let port table, and you can already see here, is this wiki table here. So again, this is jQuery, right? So jQuery, this is the query in jQuery saying like, hey, give me all HTML elements with the class wiki table. And then we get all the wiki tables, and then it's the one with index 1, because this is the first one, right there. So that's what I did here. I said let port table is the the element with class wiki table with index 1. So I'm going to store that in our JS file, because I want to just run this in the browser and then be done with it, right? That's the goal here. So that's our port table, and then we can easily query the rows, right? So let rows equals. So you can essentially make another jQuery object out of this, and then find all the TRs, table rows. And we want to slice it by 1, because this here is also a table row. We don't want to count it, right? So again, let's copy that. Let's copy that. Okay, so now we got rows. So these are our rows, right, that we want to parse. And each row represents one port. And now we need to kind of look at the data, right, how it's structured. So for each of these, so let's look into here, for example, you can have these columns like TCP and UDP. This is what I'm interested in, right? So did I mess something up? I think I messed something up. Let's retry. Yeah, okay. So for a given port, you can have a value for TCP and a value for UDP, but you can have multiple, apparently. So given a port, I expect to return an array, and each array contains assignments from one program to values of yes, assigned, reserved, no, and unofficial. So I'm going to make it with that in mind. So I'm going to have a function, which is going to be parse row, right? And what's a row going to be? A row is going to be this whole thing, right? So it's going to be a TR. Again, let's expect. It's one of the... Oh. No, we can't do that, because these two TRs make up one port. You see that? That's really strange. So how are we going to solve that? I feel that given one of these, we should have a global counter. I mean, it's a disgusting solution, but we should have a global counter, and if you don't find a number at the beginning, then it must be part of the previous port. Right, so let current port equals nothing. Right, you could just do this. And you can say, okay, well, the first one we encounter, so if Can we does parse int does it return like a value or just an exception? Okay. An integer or nan? Can you run equality on nan? Is my question now. Parse int. Alright, we get some. Yeah, okay, so. I don't know how to do this. Can you do this? Nan. Is nan not a thing? Int of nan. How do you yeah. Oh wait. There's coercion stuff, right? So it's not true, it's not false either. It's nan. So how do we get it? How do we use it? What is going on here? Yeah, this one. Oh, it's a loose standing function. Because of course it is. Ah, okay. And then you can run it on this. Interesting, now we know. It doesn't matter anyway. Well, it does. Because we want to try to parse the first table data, which for this one is 9, and for this one is no. Great data engineering. So, let port equals parse int row.children.0.innerText. We're going to parse the inner text of the first data, so this here or this, and then if is nan port. Okay, fair. If is nan port, then it then we skip. Then we say port equals current port. Else current port equals port. Right? So we parse it and it works. Then okay, current port. We need to set you to this. Otherwise, use the last one. Okay, I'm fine with that. And we're gonna return. We're gonna return that, right? Eventually. Okay, so I think this will work, and this also instantly. Yes, yeah, okay. So we can make a case here, which is we need to check whether the this is wrecking me already. If the first one is a port, then we need to check this one. Otherwise, and for that we go here. Otherwise we're here and then we immediately start. So I'm just gonna do it dirty, right? So if it's not nan, then we expect to set TCP, UDP, and description. Not sure if this actually does anything in JavaScript, but we'll see. Right, and then if we're not nan, that means TCP is the next one. If it has a column span, okay. If row.children.1.goal span equals 2, right? Because it has a column span here of 2, then TCP equals this one.innerText and UDP equals that. And the description is the Oh, sorry, this is the same thing here, and then this is the fourth one, because if it's a call span of 2, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the description, which is not the case if you have 2 of these. Then it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so don't you love this? And then we can say, okay, well, if there's not a call span of 2, then we up these by these. We can also just store the integers, I guess, but this is, it's whatever. Otherwise, if it is nan, then we should down this by 0 and then go from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this, if this one was lower here, then it would be 0, 1, 2, 3 even. Right, so we should just down these by 1, all of them. And I think this works. Oh, that doesn't work. That's right. Okay, let's rows.each. So it's the row ID or row index, I guess, and then the tr, and then we want to parse row on the tr. Let's see how this goes. Let's copy this in the browser. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. You returned everything. Did this not work? It did parse something. Parse the first table, which I think goes to 1024. Yeah. Okay, so can we do this, please? Do we have to like collect it or something? I'm not really sure what's going on here. Because in Rust, like every expression is a statement. So I assume this. No, that's wrong. This is a statement here. This is a function. It should just return this to evaluate it and show it all. But I guess you'd have to see if it works by console logging. Yeah, this does work. And you can see that the description is weird, but that's fine. We can see that on 1023 we have reserved ports and we have unofficial ports, which let's do check that. Nope, I Ctrl F here. And that works. That actually works. So now we want to aggregate it into a JSON. So can we just call to array or not? Okay, though that's not what I want. Do I explicitly need to return it? I don't understand JavaScript. Do we have to do a select? Data. Can I just do this? No, I can't. Is it still the same? What is going on, man? Clearly not doing this, am I? Select, is select not doing what I think it is doing? It's not doing what I think it's doing. Map? Maybe? Okay, I think we're getting somewhere, no? We map it onto parser like this. Yes, okay, good. Very good. And then this will just be our final. Can we call to array on it? I think we can. Okay. So that should be this here. Okay. And now we need to just copy the object, I think. Or it's JSON. Well, it's only these ones, right? Yes, let's go. And we've successfully scraped the first 1023 ports off of this Wikipedia article. Now, obviously, we do need to do some data cleanup, right? Because again, you can see in the last port, there is duplication. But at least we got JSON now, so we can actually use a functional normal language to process this data. And yeah, I mean, we also need to do that on the other wiki tables, which I don't think is going to be much of an issue, because we just do this. Or not. Let's see. Let's see what's wrong with this one. This is the right one, isn't it? What's wrong with it? This is strange. These two here. But it should still be fine. Let's see what's wrong with it by console logging. Okay, copy paste run. And we die at this table row here. I don't know which one that is. I can't seem to get my viewer. Oh, scroll to view. Here it is. Whoa. That is for sure weird. Let's change the code to just be like this. And I think this will be fine. Okay, let's run it. Cannot read properties of undefined. Oh, we still got the same issue. Okay. Makes sense, right? Because this is number 0, this is 1, and then this is 2 here, which is not what we want to do. So what we'll do is we'll say that call span equals this. And then if the column span is 1, we want to do this. If the column span is 2, we want to, if it's more than 1, right? If it's more than 1, we want these to be the inner text of just the first one. And then description is going to be 5 minus call span. Here. And again, we can do the same here. I love duplicating code. Well, I don't, but okay. And the same code here. Okay, we do that. And then the same trick here as well. So this should be 6 minus call span in this case. So this should be a little more robust now. Let's run it. And we get the array. So we copy. There's 1200 ports. Does that make sense? Well, I think it does. Because a lot of these are unused. Yeah. Okay, let's save that. Ports. What was it? 40,000? Which ones were they? Here. 49,000. Okay. 49151 or something. Particularly care. Okay, that's nice. So you got those two. And let's do it for the last one, which may have different values. Unofficial and no. Okay, well, I'm still gonna run it. So let's change it to 3. Let's do this. And we get the smallest of them all so far, which is ports. I'm assuming it's just the max. 6535. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean that's the video, right? Like I just used some crappy JavaScript to scrape a Wikipedia page. I'm gonna load these JSONs into an actual programming language to kind of try to clean up. So for example, remove these and do some other processing. Right, and change these to nones. I want to include them in a Rust project. So there's going to be some processing to be done here, but I'm very happy that we were able to extract this easily with just a crappy, 50-line JavaScript code. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.